Hello everyone. Welcome to the blog. So in today's session we are going to discuss about the what is the cloud storage and GCP. So when coming to the storage architecture, so storage will be one of the major aspect into the storing the data, and here how we are storing the data and what are the aspects, means what are the way of storing the data, how we can protect the data, and what are the level of architecture. Today we are going to discuss into the more deeper way. So let me proceed for the things. So coming to this one, so coming first of all, let me explain about myself. Myself, Pavan Kumar. I have 13 years of experience into IT industry. So I do have the IT infrastructure experience, and I participated into Linux, Unix, AWS, Azure, and GCP, VMware trainings. So along with the parallelly, I'm taking care of the corporate trainings as per the need and different experience level. For any queries, and you can reach out to me my mail id unix backbench at the gmail.com. So right now we are going with some special offer for the trainings, and especially into the Linux, AWS, these courses 6999. So it's a limited offer. Whoever interested, please send a mail, otherwise ping to the call. So let me move to the one. So these are the different types of the demos. It is already there into the my vlog. So please go through it. So let me proceed for our agenda. So our agenda is that right now. So by end of this video, we can need to understand that what is the cloud storage and how we need to enable it. Means what are the process of that, and what are the advantages of the cloud storage, and what are the scenarios we can use it. So this is the main agenda we are going to discuss right now. So let me move to the what is a cloud storage? So, cloud storage is a managed service for the storing the unstructured data. Store any amount of the data and retrieves it often as you like. Nothing but for example, if you want to store a lot of the data, for example, there is if you take the Netflix, okay, there is a movies will be there, videos will be there. They want to store the data into the different ways, into the one large portion of the data, into the different regions, different structures, so we can store it. So majorly we are using the concept is for accessing the data, storing the large amount of the unstructured data. Means we can store the data as per the needs. We can going to retrieve the data. So what are the storage buckets? So coming to the storage aspect, there is one item is nothing but is of buckets. So what is a cloud bucket? So cloud storage is a service for the storing your objects into the Google Cloud. Okay, so an object is a immutable piece of the data consisting of the file of the any format. You store the data into the buckets. Nothing but inside of cloud storage, we are creating the number of buckets. Every bucket we can call it as a separate storage area. Nothing but in general terms we can call it as a one file system. Otherwise, one of the directory. Inside of directory, we are storing our own data. For example, we are having the three projects. Every project we are consisting of multiple buckets. Every bucket will be the for specific reason. For example, if you considering the bank, for the sales they are creating the one bucket, for the promotions one bucket, and for the financial audits one bucket. So nothing but there is a bucket will be useful for the segregation of the data and managing the folders and managing the data into the way of the format. So what is the major purpose of that? Means we can perform the ACL, access control limits. So the bucket mechanism majorly we are using for the controlling of access, unauthorized access. We are not providing the access to the everyone. For example, in bank section, okay, so whatever the manager is able to access, that should not be allowed to the whoever the performing nothing but in help desk guy, nothing but. So here access control limit is nothing but so whoever have the authorized, they only perform those actions only. Unauthorized actions we can control by using the bucket mechanism. So the bucket mechanism is one of the major aspect into the storage level. So as per the project needs, we are going to create the buckets into the Google Cloud. So when coming to the security wise, securing the data. So how you are going to secure the data? As I said, IAM. So identity and access management we are calling as controlling of the resources. Nothing but when you are creating, updating, deleting, when you're performing any kind of the operations, you need to have the permissions. Nothing but we are not giving the permission to everyone. There is some set of the purpose. There is some set of the people only have the access for updating the records, creating the records, deleting the data, And moreover, so once people are able to perform the things, how you can control the data encryption. So the data encryption is one of the policy. By default it is enabled. Nothing but if any authorized person can able to perform, if any authorized unauthorized person trying to access the data, otherwise when the data is transferring from the source to one source to another destination, so the data will be not possible to directly go into the raw data. They are converting the data into the encryption format. Nothing but it's in ones and zeros. We cannot access the data directly, means we cannot able to readable format. Okay, and authentications. See, once a destination, for example, from A to B, you move the data, and the B, okay, so they want to access the data. So the data is into the encrypted format. They don't want to be accessed directly. So if you want to decrypt, means they need to have authentications. Authentication means by using the OTP. For example, if you want to access your internet banking, means how you are going to access by using the OTP, by using the PIN, by using the password. These are the mechanism of accessing the authentications of your protocols or APIs, means your application. Okay, here we can log the bucket also. Nothing but a particular bucket. It can, for example, in Windows terminology, we are uh, giving the read write permissions to the particular folders. For example, we are having the three directories. Those three directories we can have the read write permissions. We can perform the actions in the same way. Here also we can perform it, and not only that one, we are going to perform some kind of operation into the versioning. So versioning is nothing but when you are performing any kind of operations, especially into the patching aspects, those moment of the time we are using the versioning concepts. Okay, so these are the major aspects into the uh, controlling of data. So yes, we are clear with the things. So as we said that there is some sort of the mechanism of storing the data. Nothing but what is the region, dual region, multi-region. So there is a three types of the terminologies. It will come to that when you perform the creation of the bucket. What is a region? The data redundancy across the zones, nothing but synchronous. See, if you want to tell that, that reason will be into the kind of the portion only specific to the, for example, specific to the India. In India, we have two data centers. Let it be Hyderabad and Mumbai. So reason will be the part of that. It will be we can, if you want to create a bucket, I would like to wish to create into the Hyderabad. Otherwise, I would like to create a bucket into the Mumbai. So that is we are calling as a simple terminology region. Dual region is nothing but, for example, I want to create into the Hyderabad and Mumbai. Otherwise, I want to create it into Hyderabad. Otherwise, outside of the country. For example, in US, New York, I want to create a one more bucket. So dual region will perform those kind of actions. And multi regions is nothing but if you want to perform the redundancy. Okay, for example, I want to create the data into the have India, Japan, New Jersey, otherwise US. Multiple places we can create. But the thing is, this is basically based on the client requirement and the data need only we are going to perform. So why means, so coming to here pricing. So region, it will be the low cost and the replication charges. There is no replication. What is the replication? Replication means there is a two types of the sources will be there. Whatever the reflecting on A, it will be reflecting on B. Nothing but whatever the reflecting, there is a two buckets I created, Hyderabad and Mumbai. Whatever the Hyderabad data, it is I am storing the data. It will be simultaneously storing into the B also. So that is we are calling as replication of data, and we are calling as redundancy. But for that it is a chargeable. So based on our needs and based on the speed capacity, based on the services, the amount will be chargeable. So let me move to the next one. You can see here these are the some sort of the available storage limits, and nearline storage, cold storage, and archive storage. What is a nearline storage, cold storage, archive storage? These are the three terminologies, four terminologies we need to know. Standard storage is nothing but, for example, there is a one server is there. Okay, let it be primary server. That server will be the consisting of information of, okay, one particular bucket we are using. Let it be for the transaction, day-to-day transaction. So in the moment of the time, we are going with the standard storage, nothing but we are not going with any kind of retrieval fees and all, and it is a standard mechanism. For example, if you want to place the data, for example, if you want to perform, there is a one more bucket is there. That bucket, okay, whatever the transaction are happen on today, it need to be stored for the next 30 days. Okay, means the data will be there for the next 30 days. So there the data in encryption, storage capacity, maintenance also increasing. It's a kind of backup. And the cold storage is nothing but if we are increasing the capacity to 90 days, we are going the cold storage. Archiving storage is nothing but, for example, we are using for the DR activities, nothing but we are not performing any kind of actions. We are just storing the data for the future purpose. If any distraction is happen, if we perform any kind of the issues, we can pull the data from the archive storage when we can restore the data. This is the way of approach. So based on our needs and standards, we are going with the things. So this is the view of the page. Okay, the VPC, the view of the page will be there, and how we can perform the things and all. Okay, so these are the storage standards again. Okay, so let me so this is a scenario we are going to establish right now. Nothing but we are creating the bucket, and we are going to perform the some sort of operations. Nothing but adding, deleting, modifying operations on a bucket, and how we can upload the data, and how we can perform the ACL operations on buckets. ACL operations means allowing the user, making the private, making the public, and some kind of additional activities, privileges to the bucket, and some kind of workaround means we are going to going with the different type of the properties. We are going to check those areas also. Let me move to the things. So let me go here. So first of all, when you coming to the bucket, you can see that the cloud storage will come. Okay, the cloud storage, it will be consisting of buckets. Let me come to the buckets. Okay, so if you want to create a bucket, means click on the bucket. Okay, so let it be, I'm going with the demo cloud one, or bucket. Okay, so here multiple options will be there. Okay, for example, I'm going with a label. What is a label? So bucket is not taking. Let me go with the one only. Okay, so that we should not be give the bucket name. Okay, so here number of the storages will be there. If you want to enable, means we can enable it. Okay, and you can see that these are the number of options. It will be coming in here, like where the data is storage. You can see that choose the where the data I need to store. For example, multi-region. You can see that multi-region means we can store the data into the multiple places into the US or Asia or Europe. For example, I want to store it in a dual region, nothing but for example, India and US. For example, Asia Pacific. Okay, and for example, in multiple other places also. For example, reason is nothing but it is a kind of only I want to store it into only one place. For example, I want to store it into Santiago. I'm going with this option. Okay, for example, right now I'm going with okay, let it be African. So let me, and storage classes of data, you can see that. Okay, I'm going with a standard. If you want to perform means like a near line, code line, arch line, means the data segregation will be, we can directly push it here. Okay, we are going with an auto class. Auto class is by default whatever it will come, we can do that. But right now it is a depends upon the operations. Right now I'm going with a standard one because I want to perform the operation day to day. So you can see that best for the short term storage. Okay, and the best for the backup and accessing the data for the 1 month, and best for the disaster recovery purpose, and best for the long term digital preservations. So these are the main terminologies we want to use it. Okay, let me continue that one. Okay, and you can see that there is a one more option is called uniform and fine grain. So what is a uniform and fine grain? You can see that Okay, uniform is a nothing but majorly it will be coming with a kind of, okay, it should be every data will be into the same format. Fine grade is a nothing but it will be having the separate access control limits. If you want to add means we can perform the operation. For example, right now I'm going with a uniform. Later on we can discuss how we can change the permission also. Let me create the bucket. So right now it will take us a moment of the time to create a bucket. So right now the it is, you can see that the page is loading, the bucket is creating. So this is a bucket. Let me see here once again. I'm just refreshing. You can see that bucket. This is the bucket. Demo cloud one is the bucket. Okay. If you can click on that, you can see that inside there is no data is there. Okay. You can see that, for example, I want to create the some information. Let it be sample. There is one folder I created. Okay. So if you want to upload, let me move to the sample. I'm into the inside of the sample. You can see that inside of the sample I'm going to the upload a file all folder. Let it be I'm just uploading the data. Let it be I'm just adding the one video VM creation. Okay, so let me click on that one. You can see that the data is uploading. It will take us a moment of the time. So here we are having the multiple options. Okay, like a storage class, you can see that the location whatever we selected and what is the storage class, and the public access also not a public. Okay, it's a protection means it's a protection also, it is there. You can see that the data is uploaded. So right now I want to perform the some kind of the operations here. For example, let it be, okay, if you want to transfer this data to the somewhere, okay, means different location means we can do that. Okay, means right now we don't have any multiple options here, but if you want to transfer means we can able to do that. And other service, if you click on the other services, okay, so you can see that we can perform the, we can process the data and we can execute the data, we can perform lot of operations here. And if you click on here, you can see that like a lot of operation. If you don't want anything means, okay, we can uncheck the things. Okay, it will be automatically move out of here. Okay, so it is for the viewing purpose only. So let it be I want to perform the, I need to do the some work around here. Let it be configuration. You can see here, so here it is a uniform is there. I want to change it from the uniform to, okay, fine grade. If you want to means we can change it, but the thing is that right now it is already created with uniform. Just I am going with the uniform only. Okay, and moreover this is the console of demo, nothing but for example whatever the data I created, that is the data it will be listing out here. And you can see that this is there for the 7 days. Okay, and moreover, so permissions, so these are the different, you can see that this is, so if you want means we can change it. Okay, if you don't want means we can revert back it also at any moment of the time. Okay, so this is the one. And permissions, what is a permission in the sense means, for example, if you want to permit the some set of the people, okay, remove the public access, confirm. For example, I want to control the public access here. Okay, nothing but I want to give the permissions to the everyone. For example, whom I need to give the permission. For example, so the data will be automatically here. Switch it to the fine grade. If you want to do mean, okay, VBay rules, grant access. For example, whom we need to like a set of the people whom we need to give the access. Okay, remove the access. Okay, if you want to convert again a private means we are going with the prevent public access, automatically it will going to be private. And the protection, you can see that here there is a lot of the option for the protection, nothing but if you can perform the some kind of the policies here if you need. And the what is a life cycle, you can see that life cycle, nothing but the data can be stored for the 7 days, 10 days, or like that. And these are the different level of operations you can perform it. Okay, inventory reports, for example, if you want to create any reports or anything means we can do that. So this is the how we are managing. We have some option for the monitoring also. So what is the monitoring in the sense means, as I said, okay, so monitoring is only we are purposing for the monitoring of our bucket for the every 1 hour, 6 hours, 12 hours we can able to perform the actions. And moreover, we can check the what are the things are happening into the my bucket. For example, right now you can see that these are the different type of the operations it is happening. It is showing the data. Okay, for example, you need a more information means you can see that. Okay, we have a multiple options here. We can select the thing also. Okay, and you can go with a particular location wise also. Okay, for example, I want to go for the particular this area only means I'm going with a particular this area. I can able to access the data. Okay, and if you want to perform the additionally operations means we can perform this also. Okay, so this is the main how we are storing the buckets and how we are managing the buckets and how we are performing the operation. For example, if you want to delete means I'm directly going with the selecting options and delete. So if you want to delete means again I need to select the delete here for the confirmation purpose. I'm just deleting. You can see that my bucket data is deleted. So ultimately bucket we are using for the purpose of the storing the data, raw data as per the needs, and the data will be storing into the different regions, means inside, outside. Okay, and we can prevent the access by using the public, private, and access control limits also we can perform. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and please watch the other videos also, share it in your circle.